The ongoing drama involving former U.S. President Donald Trump in a New York City courtroom transcends the boundaries of a mere criminal trial, representing a profound clash between divergent conceptions of power. On one side stands the liberal democratic system of law, with its rigorous adherence to legal principles and procedures, while on the other side lies an illiberal perspective that places the source of authority outside the established legal framework. Conventionally, this case might be perceived as just another criminal proceeding, despite its historic nature the first instance of a former president, who is also a current presidential candidate, facing criminal charges. Prosecutors aim to demonstrate beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump intentionally and unlawfully falsified business records to conceal payments made to silence adult film actress Stormy Daniels about her alleged sexual encounter with him. This trial, therefore, is not just a matter of legal adjudication but a critical confrontation between the integrity of the rule of law and a challenge to its very foundation. In addition to the core allegation that Donald Trump falsified business records to disguise hush money payments as legal fees, the state asserts that this deception was strategically designed to withhold crucial information from the public during the pivotal final days of the 2016 presidential election campaign. This misrepresentation, according to prosecutors, was not merely an isolated act of financial impropriety, but a calculated effort to manipulate public perception and maintain a facade of integrity at a critical juncture. The prosecution's task extends beyond proving the falsification of records. They must also establish that these actions were part of a broader scheme involving other illegal activities, such as tax fraud or violations of campaign finance laws. If they succeed in demonstrating that Trump's conduct was intended to facilitate these additional unlawful endeavors, the gravity of the initial offense escalates significantly. This elevation from a misdemeanor to a felony would dramatically increase the stakes, potentially leading to a prison sentence if Trump is convicted. Thus, the trial delves into not only the specifics of the alleged falsification, but also the broader implications of such actions on the integrity of the electoral process and the legal system. The outcome holds profound consequences, underscoring the intersection of legal accountability and political power. Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and Reps. Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene from Colorado and Georgia, respectively. Additionally, Rep. Byron Donalds and Rep. Corey Mills from Florida, Rep. Nicole Malliotakis from New York, and former GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy have all made appearances. Their attendance signals more than just support. It represents a strategic alignment with Trump, indicating that within the Republican Party, loyalty to Trump remains a critical element of political capital. This collective presence also suggests an attempt to influence public perception of the trial, framing it as a politically charged prosecution rather than a straightforward legal proceeding. One could rationalize such a display of political support as the Republican Party closing ranks around its presumptive presidential nominee and de facto leader. This interpretation holds validity, reflecting a traditional show of unity within the party. However, the implications extend far beyond conventional partisan politics. If Trump's allies are signaling loyalty, it is reasonable to question what exactly they are demonstrating loyalty to. It seems difficult to avoid concluding that their solidarity is meant to support Trump's bold and unsubstantiated claim that he is the victim of a politically motivated show trial orchestrated by his adversaries, particularly President Joe Biden. According to Trump, his political enemies are deploying what he describes as fake law to undermine his candidacy and interfere with his pursuit of the highest office in the land. This assertion positions the trial not merely as a legal battle but as a broader confrontation over the legitimacy and integrity of the legal and electoral systems. Trump's narrative, embraced by his supporters, challenges the foundation of the judicial process and casts doubt on the impartiality of legal institutions, framing the trial as a direct attack on his political ambitions rather than a pursuit of justice. As Trump articulated at a recent rally, Joe Biden and the fascists that control him are really the true threat to democracy. They use the DOJ, the FBI, our election systems. They rigged our elections and attacked free speech. They don't go after the people that rigged the election. They go after the people that want to find out who it was that rigged it. This statement encapsulates his narrative that the rule of law has been subverted and that the Department of Justice is now a tool wielded against political adversaries. If, as Trump claims, the genie is out of the box, suggesting that the traditional legal framework has been suspended in favor of a politically motivated use of prosecutorial power, he advocates for retaliatory measures. Trump has openly signaled his intent to mirror these alleged tactics. I happen to be president, and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly. I say, go down and indict them. Mostly they would be out of business. They'd be out. They'd be out of the election. This rhetoric underscores a broader and more alarming implication than mere partisan support. It hints at an endorsement of a tit-for-tat approach where legal instruments are wielded as weapons in political battles. By expressing a willingness to indict political opponents to neutralize them, Trump proposes a drastic shift from a legal system grounded in impartiality and due process to one driven by political expediency. Such a stance not only undermines the integrity of legal institutions, but also threatens the foundational principles of democratic governance. The convergence of high-profile Republican figures at Trump's trial, therefore, can be seen as more than support for a political ally. It reflects a broader alignment with a narrative that challenges the very essence of the rule of law, positioning the trial as a battleground for the future of American democracy. This is how political thuggery becomes normalized. It starts by projecting your own abuses onto your political opponents to justify responding in kind. When your criminal acts eventually catch up with you, you wear the ensuing indictments as a badge of honor. As Trump calls it, effectively projecting your victimhood onto your supporters. As Trump frames it, I'm being indicted for you, this narrative seeks to transform legal accountability into a symbol of martyrdom, thereby rallying his base around a perceived injustice against their champion. The political authority Trump aspires to starkly contrasts with the liberal democratic principle of power flowing from the bottom up, from we the people who freely choose to delegate or withdraw their power to political representatives. In a liberal democracy, authority is grounded in the consent of the governed and the rule of law. Conversely, in an illiberal democracy, power flows from the top down, vested in a supreme leader who claims to singularly embody the people's will and to make their power real. Trump's rhetoric encapsulates this authoritarian vision. I am your justice. I am your retribution. This assertion of personal sovereign power reflects a rejection of democratic norms in favor of an autocratic model, where the leader is both the source and the enforcer of authority. When high-ranking politicians and aspiring power brokers attend Trump's courtroom appearances, their presence signals more than mere political support. They are demonstrating their willingness to validate an alternative source of sovereign power, one that is independent of the U.S. Constitution and the rule of law. This source of power is centered on Trump himself. Such acts are not merely expressions of solidarity, they are endorsements of a fundamentally different conception of governance, where loyalty to a single leader supersedes the principles of democratic accountability and legal impartiality. This dynamic underscores that the trial is not just a legal proceeding but a profound contest over the future trajectory of American democracy.